So with the end of week 6 in the NFL, we saw a number of unexpected results on the field and off, with the beer bug taking flight and causing multiple postponements for different teams around the NFL. Cleveland's ambitions of 2020 success were brought down to a crashing halt with their dismantling of by the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Green Bay saw a major hiccup with Aaron Rodgers by Father Time Tom Brady himself as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers utterly destroyed the Green Bay Packers. But this is the Week in Sports Ball. Let's take a look at what's happened, and let's look forward to Week 7.
Let's see what you got, punk.
The Dallas Cowboys are in total disarray, with a defense in title only that has allowed a whopping 36 points per game. The only recourse for this god-awful play is that with a 2-4 record, they somehow find themselves still atop the NFC East rankings. And with such lackluster efforts becoming a weekly tradition for the boys in Big D, it almost begs the question of what the hell are they doing all week to prepare for games? The answer? Apparently, not a damn thing. As with all sinking ships, the leaks are beginning to rear their ugly head as an anonymous player revealed damning evidence of total ineptitude within the Cowboys organization. Jerry Palpatine is likely sitting in his royal Death Star pondering his next move. I imagine it looks a little something like this.
The time has come. Execute Order 66.
Looks like the Miami Dolphins have found an identity behind the leadership of Ryan Fitzpatrick, or Fitzmagic, and it couldn't have come at a better time. With a 24-point beatdown of the Jets, he has further cemented his place as the everyman of the NFL. He's brought hope to South Florida, and when Tua finishes his apprenticeship under Fitzmagic, wait, what? Tagovailoa Tua start? Tua to start. Wow. The Dolphins are jumping off that line pretty quick. It went from apprenticing Tua to now he's the guy we're going to run behind, just in time to play against Aaron Donald and the Rams. Well, I'll pray for his soul. You guys just had to go make an asshole out of me, didn't you? You don't want to be praised. It's clear now. This must have been why every time I tried to upload my breakdown of Cleveland's great O-line play during their 4-1 season start, YouTube instantly demonetized my efforts with an emphatic red $sign.
Very good, very good. You know something? No soup for you! Come back 1 year! Next!
All money ain't good money, and in the Browns' case, a refund would surely be in order. Granted, the key pieces of the puzzle were unavailable due to injury, and Baker Mayfield was playing at half strength himself, but holy hell, even a handicapped team in the NFL is supposed to put together a better effort than 38-7. This was a righteous dismantling of the Browns by a Pittsburgh squad that smelt blood in the water. Talk about it not being your day, the Browns got to go back to the drawing board because statement games are supposed to be statement games. You're supposed to actually show some progress that the franchise has made, and validation should be the result. I haven't lost faith in Cleveland's chances at competing for the division crown. I just think that there was a moment to truly make their claim to being a true match to the pedigree of Pittsburgh. Opportunity missed.
I need to do this for myself.
Listen to me, you deaf fuck. I offered you a chance when we could have done something. I offered you a chance to be a cop, and you blew it.
All right, so a few side notes from week 6 in the NFL. First, we had the Tuesday night game between the Chiefs and the Bills, so I was really surprised at how bad Josh Allen played in this game against the Chiefs. On their home field, in their own element, the Bills weren't able to be accurate on offense. They weren't able to produce anything from the running game or in the passing game. And their defense, well, what can we say about their defense? They give up a ton of yards and they give up a lot of points. They give up 245 yards rushing on the ground, by far the most that they've given up all season. And, they just really didn't have any answers for this Kansas City team that came out with a defense that was inspired and ready to bounce back from their first loss of the season against the Las Vegas Raiders. So for me, this was a moment and an opportunity that was harshly missed by Josh Allen. And for a player who's improved his passer completion rating by about 20% over his last 2 seasons. It was kind of shocking to me to see that he was so off the mark from the very outset of the game. His first pass was abysmal in its accuracy, and that didn't change too much over the course of the game. And I would be remiss if I didn't talk about my Jacksonville Jaguars. My Jaguars, the team that had shocked the world in week 1 with their win over the Colts, with many thinking that they may have underestimated the boys out of Duval. But as we have seen in the weeks following that win, it was just an anomaly. The Jaguars have literally fallen apart at the seams. It looks like the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes is in full motion. And in the game against the Lions, a team that at least on paper, the Jaguars matched up with well enough to come out with a win when they're at home, for them to get blown out the way they got blown out, it was totally unacceptable in my opinion. They don't have any culture in Jacksonville right now. There is no culture, whether it be winning, whether it be losing. They're just absent of any kind of real soul as a team. When the biggest highlight of your game is on the foot of a kicker who has never kicked in an NFL game or in a football game at any level, when that guy is your biggest highlight, no disrespect to John Brown, he made 2 of his 3 kicks. When that guy is your highlight, that shows you just how inept the team is as a whole, just how much everything that team is supposed to be about is not being bought into by the players on the field. And it leads me to think, what is Shad Khan doing with this franchise? Is there any direction that you're wanting to go in whatsoever? Because you have a lot of building to do that goes past just having a good quarterback. Throwing Trevor Lawrence back there, even right now, is not going to solve any problems for the Jaguars. This team has to build a foundation on some kind of messaging, some kind of culture that is looking towards the future to create something that can be at least a decent product on Sundays. Fans aren't getting their money's worth, and Shad Khan, in my opinion, is the person you have to look to and ask why. Why is this team performing like this? Why have you allowed these coaches to stay in their positions as coaches after all of the failure that they've shown you that they're capable of? And on top of all of that, you have a coach who, okay, you go to bat for your defensive coordinator because you don't want to appear to be of a different mindset to the media. But look at the team that you're fielding every week. Are you really providing any kind of substantial evidence that this team has made any progress since week 1 in the NFL? I haven't seen it. I don't know why the Jaguars management hasn't seen it. I don't know why the Jaguar ownership hasn't seen it and made the decision that is obviously the one that needs to be made right now. This season is a wash. If you're going to tank, you might as well start by firing the head coach and firing the general manager so the tank can at least happen in a proper way where you can have a new regime come in and rebuild from the ground up. This tinkering and tattering and going back and forth with what you want to do with this franchise has not worked. And since 2017, we've seen nothing but repeated mistakes and no lessons learned from this organization down in Duval. So until they do anything that's worthwhile in looking to the future and building towards the future, this Jaguars franchise is sinking to a low that not even the Cleveland Browns may have seen during the worst of their days back in the 90s.
Flawless victory.
Aaron Rodgers, a man on a mission. In a year marred with disappointment and adversity, his steady hand has painted defenses with perfection personified passing prowess. And just like that, 2020 says, hold my beer, let me show you what you've been missing. An avalanche of disgust would wash over the pack like COVID over an indoor Trump rally. Rodgers and the pack caught the sickness, all right, and I don't mean the one your grandparents were scared of. He caught the pick sixness, and that is something that leads to nothing but destruction. These Packers came out and got massacred, and I guess it just goes to show how quickly the fortunes of a team can turn when you throw a pick 6 before the game even really gets into motion. And with 160 yards and 2 interceptions throughout the course of the game, the writing was on the wall early that the Buccaneers came ready for business. The Packers were dismantled on the defensive side as well as on the offensive side, and it's just showing now that Tom Brady has got this Buccaneers team in sync, and these guys are going to make a play for the NFC, whether we like it or not. And I tell you what, I saw enough of Brady in my time of playing. He's got these guys in sync, and he's got the eye of the tiger, and there's nothing that Father Time or time itself can do to stop TB12. It's looking like it might be one of those seasons, boys.
It's a lot of jet fuel just to do a little flyover.
That's your hard-earned money and your tax dollars at work.
That stuff ain't happening with Kamala Biden ticket. I'll tell you that right now, partner.